I want you clapping for other teams and clapping for yourself if you've won. Let's just hear a nice big clap. Well done, you guys, and if you've got me back in the envelope. So who's the winner? Andres Bayo. Does anyone remember by how many points? Naomi. 9. Is that correct, everyone? Yes. Where's Andres Bayo? Well done. Right. Now let's sing up nicely. Stand up. Stand up the house song. Quickly. Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Butler.
Good morning, family. So, I'm going to introduce two students, Alan and Lucas. Come on. Now, Alan and Lucas came to see me about a month ago, I think. They requested a meeting with me and they wanted to discuss, and I quote, solution to bullying. Now, everybody's trying to find a solution to bullying. So I was very interested to see what the solution was, and they came up with some really good ideas. Now, one of the ideas was to bring in 2 ambassadors to school. Who knows what an ambassador is? Tommy.
It's a person that represents a certain.
Excellent answer. Naomi said it's a person that represents a country. So today we have the Canadian Ambassador here, and he represents the whole of Canada in Venezuela. And tomorrow we'll have the British Ambassador, and he represents the whole of Britain. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday we have some activities for you. It's very simple activities. When you enter the school, Alan and Lucas will give you a little box to take a name, and you be nice to the student that you take the name of. However, today, Mr. Ben is going to come out in a second, and he will talk to you about bullying, and he'll talk to you about what we do as a school. So when he comes on, you have to give him a round of applause, a big round of applause, okay? Hi, Mr. Ben.
Fantastic initiative, so congratulations. As Mr. Patel said, I'm Dan Rosewell. I'm the Ambassador of Canada in Venezuela, which means that I represent my government here. And that's a job not only to connect government, but also the people of Canada and the people of Venezuela. And so in that spirit, I want to talk to you a bit about bullying today, which is something that I think is a problem in Canada as well as in Venezuela. Let me start by asking a question. How many of you have a pink shirt? Well, quite a lot. How many boys have pink shirts? Not quite as many. It's not as normal in Canada for boys to wear pink shirts because people associate pink shirts with girls. I'm wearing one today. But in Canada once, a few years ago, a boy showed up in school wearing a pink shirt and he was bullied by other people, by other kids for wearing a pink shirt. They called him nasty names, and it was really upsetting. It wasn't the first time that he'd been called bad names, and so it wasn't just a fight one day with one student. It was a repeated pattern of him being treated badly by this other student, by a bully. And something special happened that day. The other kids decided to stand up and stop it. Stop the bully, to say it's not right for you to tease this boy just because he's wearing a pink shirt. And they organized the whole campaign to say that it's wrong to tease people just because of what they wear. So every day in March, in this one part of Canada, everyone wears a pink shirt. Same day. To say not only that people should be free to wear what they want, but also to say that it's not right to bully. And there's an important lesson in this. It's that bullying is not just something that happens between the bully and the victim. It's something that involves all of you, all of us, and that each of us have a responsibility when we see someone being bullied to say, no, that's not right, to stand up and to stop it from happening. So that's the experience that we have in our country of dealing with bullying, and why I'm wearing a pink shirt today in honor of those children that started that anti-bullying campaign in Canada. I know that you've now got your own anti-bullying week this week. I think it's a great idea. So I want to congratulate all of you for taking on this very important issue. So let's have a big round of applause for all of you. That's all I have to say. Nice and short. Unless anyone has any questions about what an ambassador does, which I'm happy to take.
Does anybody have any questions? What Mr. Penn does in his job?
You could also ask me any questions about Canada. I know that some of you have already been here. Alan and Lucas told me they've traveled there. Yes.
Do you speak French?
Oui, bien sûr, je parle les deux langues officielles du Canada. Yes, I do. In Canada, we have two languages because we were colonized by both England and France. And so everyone who represents the government of Canada has to speak both of Canada's languages. It's a good question. Thank you. Yes, here in the sunlight. Sorry? What's my job? Well, as an ambassador, I run an embassy, so there are 40 people in our office that all work on the relationship between Venezuela and Canada. So I run that office, and my own job is having conversations with the government of Venezuela on any kind of issue, whether it's trade and the economy, human rights, our cooperation with the United Nations. Basically, we have lots of conversations between Venezuela and Canada. Yes, here in the second row. Sí, hablo español también. Es importante hablar con los venezolanos en su propio idioma, ¿no? No, it's important in diplomacy to speak lots of languages so that we can be better understood in our conversations. Yes, with the glasses.
Will you speak Italian?
That's already enough, isn't it? English, French, and Spanish. Yes? Just don't say that. Well, I speak a little bit of Arabic as well, but that won't be as useful here. Yes, yes?
How many languages do you speak?
I speak 4 languages. 4 languages.
Okay, guys, questions not related to languages. Maybe related to being an ambassador or related to bullying. Let's have your hands up.
Yeah.
Paprika?
Well, we speak to each other to try and convince each other of different issues. So, for example, when we're talking about the economy, we're trying to convince Venezuela to accept a Canadian company to come and sell things here. Or if we're talking about human rights, we're trying to convince the Venezuelan government to change a practice or to do something a bit differently. We speak to each other to try and convince each other to do things differently. Yes, in the back.
What was the real day that the boy in the pink shirt stood up for himself?
It was 4 years ago, so in 2011, and it was in a place called Nova Scotia. And from there, they launched these Pink Shirt Day campaigns all throughout Eastern Canada. I think it happens in about 20 or 25 cities across Canada now. And they raise money. I think they're doing here. There's going to be a fundraising campaign as well.
Didn't we wear pink? Remember we wore pink about 2-3 weeks ago? Yes? And this Friday we are wearing blue to represent our bullying awareness week. Estefania?
How long have you been in Venezuela?
How long have I been in Venezuela?
No, an ambassador.
An ambassador. for 1 year. In fact, today is my 1 year anniversary. I arrived here March 16th.
Emily. Emilia.
Have you ever been bullied?
Have I been bullied? I think all of us have probably been bullied at one point in our lives. I had an experience when I was in grade 7, which would be 12 years old, I guess, where I wasn't very good at sports. That's why I became a diplomat, because I couldn't play hockey or football. And my mother taught me that you should never fight back, you never use violence, but to speak back, to try and convince your people bullying you. I didn't think it worked very well, actually. That's why I think it's important to focus on the other people around us. It's not just up to the victim to stop the bullying, it's the other people that are watching that have the responsibility to say, no, this is wrong and you should stop it.
I'm going to bring Miss Tamara. Can you come up, please? I'm going to speak to Miss Tamara as well. Now, Lucas, you want to come up? Lucas mentioned something when we spoke in our meeting. And I asked Lucas, what is bullying? And he had a good definition. With the bullying and the bothering, do you want to tell everyone?
Well, bullying is more high level than bothering. Because bothering is almost the same thing as teaching. And bullying is more of a hitting and calling names. And bullying, when you bother someone, you do it just one time. Like the bully, you do it repeatedly.
I think that's the important one. I think that's the important point, guys. When you bother someone, it's a one-off. A bullying is when you keep doing it. When someone keeps hurting someone, it could be physical, it could be emotional. So physical is when you hit someone. We don't do that at TBSC at all. It could be emotional. When you tease each other, it could be spiritual. And it could even be on the internet. And when it keeps happening is when it's called bullying. If it happens once, maybe even twice, it's bothering. There's two different things. Mr. Moran, do you add anything?
And another thing that we should be aware of when we are sometimes making jokes is how the other person reacts. Sometimes there are some friends we have certain jokes or certain way of playing that we both agree. But when it's a situation that a person is being bothered or bullied, you will see the other person is upset. Okay? So upsetting someone isn't funny. Okay? And it could lead eventually to a bothering situation or even worse, to a bullying situation. So let's be aware of how other people feel, and that has to do with being thoughtful. Okay? Which is something we're trying to encourage. To be thoughtful in this case would also be aware how other people feel when we say something to them, or when we're joking and we step over that slim line where the joke finishes and the other person isn't laughing anymore. It's very different to laugh with someone and we're both joking and we're both enjoying ourselves, and it's a different thing when I laugh at someone.
Okay, other questions? We have 5 minutes. What's your name? Daniela, go on.
Bullying is like when a girl likes to and a boy bullying around.
I think it's a good example of. So Daniela said, you said when a girl likes something and the boys criticize it. If that's not bullying, that would just be teasing or bothering. If they keep criticizing and then you become sad, then it's bullying. There was another hand up. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Clara, go on.
To make people react. That's very important.
Has there been any time when a boy bullies a girl or a girl bullies a boy?
What do you think? another person's opinion? Do you think there's a situation in which a boy bullies a girl, or a girl bully a boy? Do you think that could happen? It doesn't have to do with gender. Sometimes it's just bothering a person. Never mind. Sometimes an older person is bothering a younger one. Okay, so anyone can be bullied, and that's also something we need to be aware of. Sometimes we think only smaller children get bullied. Okay, our students are doing very well, but it can be exactly the opposite. Sometimes students that are very, very good students can get bothered, and eventually people like to be bullied.
2 minutes. Maya had a hand up before you say something. Thank you.
Is Canada like in any, for example, like in European Union?
I don't think I heard the question. Could you say it again?
That is Canada in any group, like.
Yeah, all right. That's right. We're not in the European Union because we're not part of Europe, but we are part of this continent of the Americas, and so we're a member of the Organization of American States, which in Spanish is called the OEA, and we're also part of North America. So there's a group of Canada, the United States, and Mexico called the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. So we each have our different groups of countries. Some are small and some are large. We're also, of course, members of the United Nations, like all countries. Britain, Venezuela, Canada, all countries are part of that group, and that's a very important way that diplomacy, my profession, gets practiced.
That it's like in South Arabia and all the kind of countries that women can't wear like their own clothes, they can't go to work, they can't go that much outside without covering their whole body, it's their only thing their eyes. It's not like very fair that they can have to wear this because it's made whatever they want.
Wow, that's a very deep point, Cesar. I'm going to let Miss Gilbert pick that one up for you in lessons. Okay, guys, I think we'll stop there. Alan, you can have the last question, actually.
Bullying can happen like some boys and like the police that feel bad inside and they will tell them to be like so that's what they do.
Sometimes people that bother others or bully others have been bothered themselves or bullied. So yes, it's one thing you have to bear in mind. Sometimes we have felt upset about something and we could probably feel tempted to take it out on another person. So thinking about how we feel when we're wanting to fool around or joke with someone, how would we feel? Or feel empathy for another person is one good measure of maybe not overstepping that.
So guys, thank you for listening. I know you've been here for a very long time. You've done really well to stay quiet, to listen. You're truly TBSC students. So give yourselves a round of applause. And once more, Alan and Lucas.